This is a KOCO 5 First Alert Weather Severe Weather Update.
It is 11:27. I want to give you an update right now on the storms that we have that are developing right on top of Oklahoma City here. You see down by the airport and then down by Slaughterville and Lindsay, and then also severe thunderstorms that are right now making their way now well north of Seminole. That storm went through with a lot of small hail and it right over Seminole State College. That is now lifting up towards Little. These are storms that are inside. This storm right here is inside of a tornado watch. It still looks like the threat for tornadoes, though, is quite low for this evening. It's not zero, but it is low. There's your hail core right there. That's a lot of small hail that is now moving through Seminole, north side of Seminole, up towards Little. In the last couple of 10 to 15 minutes or so, we've really seen an increase in storms from Mustang, and then as you make way down towards Rush Springs, up towards Dibble, Slaughterville, and on the south side of Norman here, you can just see this just in the last 10 to 15 minutes. Storms are really starting to go up here pretty quickly. These are not severe, but they are certainly going to continue to increase as they make their way through Oklahoma and Cleveland County. If they were to become severe, they would primarily be a hail threat and some wind. Tornado risk is on the low side. So closer inspection here into the metro. You can see storms now beginning to go up. We have Amanda right there east of Chickasha. There is Nick very close to the Riverwind Casino, watching these storms beginning to lift up to the north here. And then also additional storms currently going on up in northern Oklahoma. We'll check in with Nick and then Amanda and Shane, but let me go out to Michael. Michael, we've been waiting for these low-level winds to begin to increase this evening for storms to begin to develop. What are you seeing right now from Storm Command?
Yeah, Damon, this new batch of storms is just west of I-35, certainly increasing. And here's the thing. They do have a gusty north wind undercutting them, and the moisture quality is not as high. So it doesn't mean they won't be severe. And in some cases, like we saw even just a couple of weeks ago, we saw a really powerful hailstorm that moved through southern Oklahoma, came through down near Wynnewood, had wind damage with it and large hail. So that's still possible, even though it does look like the tornado threat will be quite low with these storms that are over near Lindsay, and they'll be moving up toward Norman. You guys in Norman may start hearing some thunder here very shortly. I'm seeing some increase in lightning around the Blanchard area also, and you may even see some of that on my 360 camera. Yeah, there was a big lightning strike right there. So there's quite a number of storms. I don't see any that have a real, severe look to them in terms of the hail cores yet, but that is something we'll monitor for very closely.
We're looking at the radar right now here in the Weather Center, and we can see these storms, they are lifting up to the north. Let's go back over to the radar right now, and you can see here they're not severe warned yet. They may not be that far off from at least getting a hail threat that's beginning to pick up a bit as well. You can see some of the brighter cores there that are running from Dibble, Goldsby, lifting up to the north. Let me check in with Amanda Benton here. Amanda, and then we'll check in with Nick in Cleveland County. Amanda, these storms are very close to you. How do they look right now from where you are, Amanda?
Well, Damon, right now we're making our way toward Blanchard, and a lot of frequent lightning with these storms and some pretty good gusty winds, but really nothing too crazy. But like I said, lightning and wind right now is what we're seeing out here. So back to you, Damon.
All right, I know you all are watching it closely there. And with the severe thunderstorm watch that's currently in effect until 4 a.m., thunderstorms coming in with this watch and play here for another 4.5 hours. We are going to continue to keep a close eye on it. Let me go out to Nick here in Norman. Nick, watching thunderstorms really beginning to make a run now into Cleveland County. How do they look from where you are, Nick?
Yeah, so Damon, I'm going northbound on I-35, coming up to Rock Creek Road right here, and I'm going to pan the 360 cam back to the northwest and the west. I mean, just all around me, I'm seeing lightning. So what Michael was talking about thunder, you're probably going to be hearing thunder here pretty soon in Norman. That's, spot on, because there's lightning that has been developing with these storms. There's some that is just all around Norman, from the southwest all the way up north of me right now. Back to you.
Yeah, we can definitely see there's a lot of lightning inside these storms. And so just kind of update here just moments ago from the National Weather Service, and they issued basically kind of a precursor to a severe thunderstorm warning. Special weather statement here right now for winds of 40 miles per hour and penny-sized hail inside this storm here. We're going to come back into the metro here in just a bit. Let's check in with Shane Helton all the way out to the east here inside this severe thunderstorm warning that's quickly racing up to the northeast. Shane, we see you out by Okemah. What's the update here, Shane?
Well, Damon, there are 2 severe thunderstorms out here. We just went around the edge of one of the cores. I'm actually on I-40. We did not see any hail as we went through it, but we did see some heavy rain and ponding on the roadway. So other than that, with the exception of the lightning, that we haven't seen any hail yet, which is kind of surprising me. Damon, back to you.
Certainly, the atmosphere out there has been at least capable of producing some hail, but the hail sizes may be plentiful, but also quite small. Almost looks like when it falls, it can almost pile up into like a bunch of snow, that type of intensity there. So watching that again, Shane, out on I-40, out by Okemah. Also, as we can see here, the lift from these storms coming through Shawnee right now. And so Shawnee, I know you're hearing the storms on top of you. Those are not severe, but I get it. It's 11:30. You've been paying attention to the weather all day long, and you knew that, hey, there are going to be some storms that come in here this evening, and the risk for severe weather would be there. So we're watching the intensity of these storms pick up a bit here as they're now making their way not only to Cleveland County and also McLean County, but even a batch of some pretty noisy storms now coming in just west of downtown Oklahoma City. Right now, the threat with these storms, 40-mile-an-hour winds and penny-sized hail, so not very large here. But given the environment that we have, the potential for these storms to increase in intensity would certainly be there. So we're going to continue to watch it. We'll jump back on here should these storms become severe. In the meantime, keep it with KOCO 5 News. We'll bring you the first alert.